What up, YouTube? My name is V, and today I'm going to be showing you how to maintain or potentially repair your Apple Lightning charging cables. So what you see here is I have an authentic Apple charging cable. I think they're also called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And what ends up happening is they have this amazing feature on these where the strain relief, which is this little rubber, see the rubber that extends after the connector part? Well, it has this amazing, feature is what I'm trying to say. It has this amazing feature where, boom, this is the strain relief, this thing right here, right? And it's that like thicker rubber that's intended to spread out the strain and stuff so your wires don't tear, which is exactly what it did right here. It tore, okay, right at the strain relief. And yeah, so what can you do about that? Well, one of the main problems with that is that within the cable itself, you have this mesh. Boom, this silver mesh that's right under this. So under this like white insulation, this stuff right here, under that, you're gonna have this silver braided mesh. And this stuff serves as a ground and shield for the wires in the charging cable, the authentic Apple ones. This is also from an authentic Apple charging cable, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And then so when you have a break like this, right, you have the issue where that braided or whatever stuff it also breaks. So you may not have proper grounding, and it disrupts the shielding capabilities of your cable. So it's really a bad situation. But sometimes a few of the strands will still be intact. So don't sit and bend this out or make videos showing people how it rips, because it will just continue to rip it more. So whatever's intact, you want to just keep it that way. There are ways to re-solder it back together, but it's very, very like work strenuous and like could result in damaging more than you fix. So we're just gonna hope that you still have some threads left. So what you're gonna need to fix this shit, right, is this thing is you're gonna need heat shrink tubing. Heat shrink tubing, and this is the heat shrink tubing that is about its widest diameter is about 11/32 of an inch, you know, thanks to our fucking, you know, SI units, or whatever the fuck, the imperial units, you know, that makes total sense. 11/32 of a, you know, so make sure that this diameter here, the outer diameter of this, is 11/32 of an inch, okay? Can you just eyeball that, or imagine what size that is in your mind? Anyway, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut a length of this, and by length I mean this direction wise. You're going to want to cut a length of this that's about boom, from there to there, okay, of the heat shrink tubing, or maybe a little bit. You want it to go before the end of the strain relief, and a little less than halfway across this plastic thing, because of the fact that this connector still needs to fit in your charging port, and in some cases, I mean, like phone cases, some cases it won't fit in there if there's anything that makes this plastic part any wider than it needs to be. So go a little, like scoot this over, boop, a little less than half way there. That's a little bit too much, but yeah. And then don't have it go past the strain relief right here. Okay, so we're gonna cut that now, right here, watch. Okay, and so like right there is about good. Okay, So now that you have the length of the tubing, that's 11/32 in outer diameter, and then the length is about okay, the length is about 21/32. Okay, so 21/32 of an inch. All right. Again, thank you for the imperial units. It's totally reasonable to have to run around with measurements like 21/32 and 11/32. All right, anyway, so to get this shit done with, then you're going to want a torch or a lighter of some sort. I found a torch is kind of better because it's directional, like boop, boop, okay? So what you're going to do is you're then going to apply the heat to the heat shrink, placing it exactly where you wanted it, okay? And, well, okay, now the heat shrink does something really strange that most materials don't do, which is it, when you heat it, rather than expanding, it contracts, which is really odd. And we got to give them more credit for whatever this shit is, you know, because that's a really strange property of material to do that. Now, if you notice on this one, it slid way down the connector, right? That's because this type of heat shrink actually has a gooey waterproofing gelatin shit inside of it, right? So that's what's going to seal this in my case. And then for this thing to droop down back here, it's actually perfect, because now it's going to be right where that tear is, so it's going to hold strong right there, like another strain relief that lands right over the original strain relief. See, that's why I told you to cut it a little before it. See, now it's like perfectly coating it, and it looks cool. Boop, boop. And now you can not have to worry about the rip strain relief on your cable. Look, blow. But the thing about this, though, is that in time, what ends up happening is, whereas the strain relief broke, the original one broke, and then you put the heat shrink, well, eventually it's going to break after the heat shrink. Then after that heat shrink. Then after that heat shrink. Then after that heat shrink, right? And you're going to keep going down this snake of cable, right? Sometimes I do it to the other side as well, you know, of the connector, just before it rips, you know, to reinforce it. Just remember, if you're doing this side, you have to put the heat shrink on from the little side and use the same one, the 11/32 diameter, and you have to slide it from this side all the way down to this side. You know what I'm saying? Because if you put a piece of heat shrink that's wide enough to go around the USB and expect that to go here and go whoop over to the back and shrink down and actually be small enough to bite that, no, it's not going to happen. So you got to get the same stuff they used here, 11/32, and then slide it all the way down the length of the wire. And then, so basically, you just have a wire that will continue to degrade down and down and down, down, till you want to die. Okay, so here is an example of what happens. Okay, so you start with the connector. Boom, you start with the heat shrink. It keeps breaking after the heat shrink and in time, you know? So you just keep following the repairs. You just keep following the repairs, okay? And then, oh wow, now the mesh is just exposed, okay? But you just keep following the repairs. And then, oh wow, that's beautiful, huh? Yeah, dude, that's that insulation that Apple chooses to use. It's made out of like linseed oil or something, or like something you can find at Whole Foods, that supposedly is not as bad for the environment, but it also is terrible for heat shrink purposes, or I mean, ducting purposes. And then in this case, boop, here's the other end of that wire, that cable or wire or whatever cable. Yeah, so this is the last part of the life of the insulation right there. Blam, going from the USB side. And blam. And that is what I call being environmentally conscious. Okay? Being working. And believe it or not, this cable still actually works. It still works, yep. I never lose faith in these cables. Why? Because I'm poor. Why? Because I went to university to study electrical engineering at UC Davis, and Apple just ignores my applications for years now, you know, because they must have just such amazing, amazing talent there that no one from UC Davis could possibly be of any use to Apple. So that sucks for me, you know, but it's all good. Yeah. So there you go. Now you know what you can do to fix your crap, you know. And for as long as that you probably have to do shit like this, just know that that's how long I probably am not employed by Apple. Because believe me this, if they let me get my foot in the door, shit would change. Shit would change drastically. And just subtle things, you know, little things like this, little things that they don't care about, that fucking, you know, end up screwing people over. Because without this cable, you can't even use the device. You can't charge it. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's very crucial that this cable function. And Apple's like, they did a fairly good job on designing these cables. They are fairly good quality, but then they just kind of were like, yeah, and that's that. And I guess they are priced fairly well because they're not too expensive. They're like $20, you know, unless you want these longer ones that are like more than $20. Which is, you know, that's good, I guess, for people who have money. But if they want to not hire people like myself, then don't expect that people are going to have money to buy your crap shit. All right. Anyways, that's it on my rant. My name's B, and that is how you maintain or fix or whatever your fucking cables before they get in such bad condition that you have to call me in order to fix them and or buy another one. And if you do buy another one, shoot me your old one. Leave your old cables in the comment section, and I'll read them. And that doesn't make sense. Okay, well, just comment in the like section and subscribe to a comment, all right? This is V once again, and cool. All right. I don't know how to post videos, so I'm just going to shut the camera off, and you guys have a good afternoon or Vegas.